All right, and welcome to race day. We have some prognostication. This is going to be the old versus the young. We're going to be talking about, we had an exciting regular season, very unconventional. We saw things like Jimmy Johnson not make the playoffs, which is very sad.
Matthew Bennett don't make the playoffs for the first time in his career.
Which is pretty sad. No, not necessarily, but Kyle Busch, how about that guy? Where's he going to go? Well, we'll talk about that a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. All season long, we've been prognosticating on who might win, and every week we're within about 1 point of each other. So we've had a good time making our guesses, and now it's time that the regular season is over to look at the playoffs. We got our 16 racers. We got some new guys in there.
We're going to go race by race on who's going to win and who gets eliminated round by round.
All right, so let's look at first round.
All right.
Who do you think's going to make it out of the first round? Who do you think's going to be eliminated?
I think that Matthew Bennett and Cole Custer are easy picks to be gone.
Come into the picture. All right, so I agree. So Cole Custer is my first cut. This guy, unfortunately, he's a rookie, but I don't think he has any business in the playoffs right now. He's punching above his weight. He's in big trouble. Don't see him really contending at all.
And I have a real surprise to get eliminated in round one. Kyle Busch is out. Rowdy is outie.
Oh my goodness. I know we're going to come to our first major disagreement here. I think Kyle Busch has enough in him to get past the first round of the playoffs. The man's experience alone is going to take him to at least enough top tens in this first round to get him into the round of 12. So
All right.
I'm going to knock out old Matt DiBenedetto. I think he squeezed in by the skin of his teeth, and I just don't see him being competitive. What do you think?
Well, to go back on the Kyle Busch issue there, he has barely any playoff points, and while he may run good during the race, bad luck always strikes him. He always either ends up wrecking or just getting a horrible finish somehow. And Darlington, Richmond, and Bristol, he may have 6 wins or more at Bristol or Richmond, but I just don't think the luck is with him, nor Darlington.
No one can deny that Kyle Busch has been snake bit this year. The man has had no luck at all. But he hasn't depended on luck throughout his career, and that's why I'm giving him an edge to get in. I've got Bowman going out in the first round. I don't think he's going to make it through the first round. He hasn't been solid as of late. Started out the season pretty good, but as of late he hasn't shown me anything. What do you think about Bowman?
I think he does advance by getting a pretty good finish at Darlington, and he usually runs top 5 or top 10 at Richmond past couple seasons. And Bristol, he's kind of, well, he hasn't really done much at Bristol, but he's
May not need to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you got the showman advancing. He does have a few playoff points. He's got a little bit of a cushion.
And he
kind of
almost won
through.
Darlington earlier this year.
Okay. I'm still knocking him out. All right, so Austin Dillon is my fourth pick for making an early exit from the playoffs. I just think that he was a one-hit wonder. He won a race. He got in. Pretty good racer. He's better this year than he was last year. But I just think that the other 12 will outshine him. What you got on Austin Dillon?
I have to disagree. Blaney gets eliminated.
Oh, Blaney. Okay. Well, I think Blaney's had a pretty solid year.
He runs really well, but same thing with Kyle Busch. I just don't see him making it.
All right. So here's our wrap for the first round. Then I've got Dillon, Bowman, DiBenedetto, and Custer as first round exits.
And I have Blaney, Kyle Busch, Matt, and Custer gone.
All righty. So we move on, and we're going into the second round of the playoffs with 12 pretty solid racers. It gets a little tougher at this point. Well, I'm going to talk about old Ryan Blaney. You've already thrown him out, and I think that he will be making an exit in the second round. Pretty solid racer. He's had a pretty good year, but there's just too much strength at the top of the field. And so I believe Mr. Blaney will be making a quick exit, and you do agree with that, apparently.
Yes.
All righty. Let's talk about Byron. What do you think about old Byron?
I see him getting eliminated. I mean, he's a good road course racer, but Talladega, very unpredictable. And then I believe the starting race at the round of 12, which is... I forgot. that race.
Yeah. You know the thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let me see that second round of races. Yeah, isn't that the Roval and
yeah, the Roval and Talladega back to back. That's a big wild card, and they're running the 750 horsepower low downforce package that they ran back in 2018. Which in 2018 the Roval, that was a pretty chaotic race. So I just don't see Byron doing well there. And Talladega, I think he'll probably win a stage or maybe both, but he's gonna get collected in the first big one.
That's a bold prediction. Byron collected. All right. Clint Boyer. I got him exiting in the second round. I love Clint Boyer. I'd love to see him move on. Don't think it's going to happen. What do you think?
Got to disagree with you there. I believe he does advance on to the round of 8 because he will win Talladega.
All right. Speaking from the heart, I hope you're right. I hope he advances. But Mr. Boyer, sorry to say, I just don't think you're going to make it. Now, my fourth pick for elimination, Kyle Busch, you've already eliminated him in the first round. I got him going out in the second round. I think he's going to hang out for a minute with his 3 playoff points. I think he's going to make a little bit of a showing, but he's too far behind the 8 ball at this point, too snake bit, and possibly just got headworms at this point. I just don't know that he's going to be able to go any farther. So that's a wrap on the second round.
Well, I didn't get all my.
Okay, let's hear your second round. Okay, let's eliminate some.
Kurt Busch is outie. He's gone because those just aren't really good tracks for him. He's never won at Talladega. He kind of sucks at the Roval and the other race.
You know the race. All right. So anyhow, Kurt Busch. Now I got Kurt Busch advancing. I think that his experience is going to pay off. He's a very experienced racer. I think he can keep his composure out there.
Vegas is that other race.
Vegas, yeah. And so I'm taking Kurt Busch to move into the round of 8. And okay, did you have anybody else you're gonna throw out then?
Well, I gotta go with Elliott and Dillon getting gone.
Elliott. Chase Elliott. Oh my goodness, the venerable Chase Elliott with his 20 playoff points. He's in pretty good position going into the playoffs.
He is, but he's had some. He may surprise me and win at the Roval win a road course for the quintillionth time in his career, or he'll either wreck out and suck because he's only won one road course race in the low downforce package.
Right.
One, and he never really got close to winning the 2018 Roval race ever.
All right. So you got Chase Elliott exit in the second round, eh?
And then Austin Dillon. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Austin Dillon, I eliminated him in the first round. So let's do a rehash then. Second round, we lose Kyle Busch, Boyer, Byron, Blaney. The Killer Bees all gone.
And then for mine, you have Busch, Byron, Elliott, and Dillon being outed.
All right. Pretty solid racers there.
Now on to the round of 8 where we have Harvick, Brad, Hamlin, Logano, Truex, Eric, Boyer, and Bowman left for mine.
For you? All right. Well, I am going to go with Truex, Harvick, Logano, Hamlin, Elliott, Busch, Kurt style, Keselowski, and Almirola. Now, let's just talk about this round. Now, who's going to be eliminated in the round of 8? I've got Chase Elliott going. You already had him missing.
Yes.
I just believe Chase Elliott's had a great year. I just don't think he's got.
Well, to say if I did pick him to make the round of 8, the last 3 years, 2019, he got like 30th or worse in each of the round of 8 races in 2019. He sucked.
All right, so 2019, Elliott sucked. 2020, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come close, but not close enough. He will be eliminated in the round of 8.
Okay.
Now, Kurt Busch, I've got him eliminated, but you already had him eliminated,
yes.
Right? All right, Kurt Busch, solid racer, great career, but he hasn't shown enough this year to believe he could possibly make the Final Four. Kurt Busch is an easy out in this round. I've also got Keselowski leaving this round, and Keselowski is many people's pick for a Final Four. What do you think about Keselowski?
I do think he will make the Final Four off of a Texas win.
All right. So you're picking Brad in Texas.
Yep.
Bad Brad.
Bowman, he's gone in this round. Boyer, I would really, really love to see him do something in this round. He's won at Martinsville before, and he's gone.
Yeah, well, they call it Martinsville for a reason. I'm looking for Martin to pick up the win there, and we'll see how that works out. But we're still in the round of 8 here, and Kozlowski, I got him going. I believe you got Kozlowski in the first round going. So, alrighty, that's where we're at on that.
And I have Truex not making the championship 4, along with Eric Almirola.
All right. We agree on Almirola. I believe he also has had a very consistent season. He's looked very good in 2020.
And Truex are going to barely miss the championship 4 together.
Okay, and that's where we definitely disagree. Martin Truex Jr. will be in the Final 4. You heard it here. He's going to make it. Very solid racer. This guy can finish 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for as many weeks as he did. That's all you got to do. If he does that throughout the playoffs, he will certainly be in the Final 4. And I do look for him to win at Martinsville, so I believe he will advance. So let's go ahead and make a wrap on this. Elliott, Kurt Busch, Kozlowski, Almirola disappear in the round of 8.
Boyer, Bowman, Almirola, and Truex are it.
All right. So that leaves me with my Final 4 of Truex, Harvick, Logano, Hamlin. And
my Final 4 is Harvick, Brad, Hamlin, and Logano.
All right. So, my case for Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. has been one of the most consistent racers in this season, and I am picking him to be the champion in 2020. I believe that he's got what it takes. He's got the experience. He's got the race team. Him and his new crew have began to gel. We see him excel every week, and I think he's going to pull it out.
Now I'm gonna make a case for all the drivers in my Final 4 with Harvick, Brad, Hamlin, Logano.
Okay.
Harvick, 7 wins. It's a lot. He could win more in the playoffs.
Hard to argue with that.
Super good. Then you have Brad Keselowski, 3 wins, quietly having one of the best seasons of his career. So it's hard to go against him. And you have Denny Hamlin. He's got 6 wins this year, and he could probably win more in the playoffs. And then you have Logano, who so far entering the race, he may not look that hot, but he's kind of putting together a string of good races here. He got those 2 stage wins in Daytona. He had the best car there. Entering the playoffs, he could probably win more races. And Logano is a champion. Brad and Harvick are a champion. The only driver in my Final 4 that isn't a champion is Hamlin, because he's always managed to choke it away.
Which he will again.
And as much as I would love to say Logano will win the championship, he's going to be that 4th guy gone. Yeah. He's finishing 4th.
All right. And so, because the big difference that we have is Logano, I got Logano also in the Final 4. I think that he has a very strong case. He had a good year, but if you look at it through the lens of the season after the COVID-19 break, Logano's season hasn't been a lot different than Kyle Busch. He's just kind of always been around, but something bad always happens. I think Logano may be done this year as far as winning a championship, but I do believe that he will make the Final 4. Okay.
I think if COVID had never happened, Logano would probably have Kevin Harvick stats right now. That's what I would think would be like.
Yeah.
And my champion for the 2020 Cup Series champion is without a doubt going to be Kevin Harvick. He has everything going for him when he will and definitely make the championship 4. He's got 9 wins at Phoenix, and to your pick of Truex winning championship, while you don't have to win the race, you've had to the last 6 years. This format, you've had to win the race to win the championship, and if it does come down to that, Truex just doesn't have the stats backing him at Phoenix. He's never won there, and I don't know, he's just kind of.
And that's why we call this the old versus the young. Because one thing I've seen in sports throughout my life is the guy that's favored does not always win. Many times you can come into a sports final and you can look like you've got everything going for you, but the game is played for a reason. The race will be ran because we don't know who's going to win. I just don't know that Kevin Harvick, as great as his season has been, and it has been marvelous, and there's such a strong case to be made for him, that it can't really be debated against him, but I'm just going on a hunch. And so I don't believe the guy that's won the most races this year will be the champion. He's the season champion for the regular season. And I think that's where it's going to end. So my final four, in order of how they will finish: Truex, Harvick, Logano, and Hamlin.
My final four is Harvick, Brad, Hamlin, Logano in that order.
All right, so you've heard it here. Do you have any final thoughts?
I think we're gonna have some surprises, and we're probably we might get pleasantly surprised by some of the drivers, or just surprised by maybe Cole Custer will win like 3 races in a row.
You just never can tell, and that's why they run the races. And so, from here in Missouri, getting ready to go to the ARCA race and the I-44 Speedway, this is Tim and Devin, the old versus the new, and let's see what happens.
All right.